fire in Trumbull over the weekend, as well as Governor Malloy's new budget proposal. Frank Renito has a look at your forecast and a rundown of a busy weekend in FCX sports. Donald Lang joins us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Trumbull's volunteer firefighters battled a pool house fire on Sunday. Firefighters said they were called to that blaze after a full day at the annual fire department open house event. Long Hill, along with Trumbull Center and Nichols fire departments, were called out for that structure fire that ended up being a fully involved pool house. They said thankfully no one was hurt in that fire. And a traffic stop Saturday morning led to a large manhunt in Westport and the arrest of a Bridgeport man. Around 11 a.m. Saturday, a Westport officer attempted to stop a vehicle in the area of 35 Bridge Street. Well, during the course of the stop, the operator, 27-year-old DeHonta Robert Hilliard, was asked to exit the vehicle. At that time, he allegedly ran from officers. Well, an officer gave chase and observed the suspect drop a firearm as he fled. That officer stopped to secure the firearm due to its proximity to an apartment complex. Officers immediately established a perimeter in the area and alerted residents via the Code Red system. That alert advised residents that police were searching for a possibly armed suspect in the area and to remain in their homes. Now, additional units and canine teams from surrounding towns were brought in to assist with that search. At about noon, an hour later, officers located Robert Hilliard in the shed of a backyard at a Kaiser Road home. Well, during his capture, he sustained some wounds from a canine. He faces several charges, including carrying a pistol without a permit. The origin of that firearm he dropped remains under investigation. And a Stratford bar owner and one of his bartenders are facing charges of selling drugs from the Stony Brook Bar and Restaurant following their arrest last Thursday. 68-year-old Angelo Racine of Bridgeport is charged with 3 counts of sale of cocaine and 1 count of operating a drug factory. 51-year-old Lori Herb of Stratford is charged with 4 counts of sales of cocaine. Police said the Stratford Police Narcotics, Vice and Intelligence Unit received numerous complaints from neighbors about drug activity at that bar located on Success Avenue. Police then launched an investigation and determined that Racine and Herb were trafficking cocaine. Police said detectives conducted numerous buys at the bar. Search warrants were also executed on Thursday at the bar and at Herb's and Racine's residence. Detectives found cocaine packaged for sale, as well as $3,500, items used for packaging, and about 4 ounces of cocaine at both homes and inside the bar. Well, they're both scheduled to appear in court on October 20th. In other news, State Senator Gail Schlossberg's introductory remarks to a group of University of Connecticut students had her facing some public scrutiny recently. HAN's Milford Mirror reports that Schlossberg issued a statement last week noting that she apologized to UConn students for a statement she made October 3rd while visiting the school to discuss the state budget. Now, while introducing herself and talking about her start in politics, Schlossberg told the students that she once worked with a Milford-based PTA to remove books from a school library because the books contained racial slurs. Now, Schlossberg said the offensive word aloud. The UConn College Democrats issued a statement recently noting their objection to the use of that word. They said, in part, while describing this work, State Senator Schlossberg explicitly used the N-word without euphemisms within the context of its presence in the books. They said, we have received a formal apology from State Senator Schlossberg about the use of the word. Now, Schlossberg said in a statement last week, in part, I was talking about children's books that were outdated and inappropriate. In describing that the books were so inappropriate for young children, she referenced the actual word aloud as it appeared. She said, my intention was to convey that this word has no place in our society, especially in teaching our children. Well, there's a lot more on that story at milfordmirror.com. In other news, a motor vehicle collision in Wallingford Sunday evening took the life of 90-year-old Edward Carabillo of Raymond Street in Darien, that according to Wallingford police. Now, Carabillo was the operator of a 2016 Audi convertible, which collided with a 2012 Nissan Titan pickup truck on the intersection of South Colony Road and Northfield Road in Wallingford. This is about 6:40 in the evening. Now, the front seat passenger in the Audi, 82-year-old Natalie Ainson, was transported to Yale New Haven Hospital, where she's being evaluated for non-life-threatening injuries. The operator of the Nissan, 69-year-old Ronald Benito of Wallingford, suffered only minor injuries and was not transported from the scene. The investigation, which is still ongoing, has revealed that Carabillo was traveling westbound on Northfield Road just before that collision. The pickup truck was traveling northbound on South Colony Road in the right lane. Carabillo attempted to make a left-hand turn from Northfield Road, attempting to travel southbound on South Colony Road. His Audi entered the intersection and collided with that pickup truck. Now, any witnesses who may have seen the collision are encouraged to call Wallingford Officer Anthony Bauer at 203-294-2817. And there's more on that story at DarienTimes.com. In other news, Fairfield police are warning residents about a jury duty scam they say is one of the most successful intimidation and imposter schemes. Now, scammers can not only get a quick payoff, but also enough personal details for future identity theft. The caller claims to be members of law enforcement, whether it's local police, the sheriff's department, or the U.S. Marshal Service, saying that that person failed to appear for jury duty or failed to answer a court summons, which is why they may tell you that a warrant for your arrest has just been signed by a judge. Well, your caller ID may even show phone numbers for a courthouse or law enforcement agency, and the caller may cite names of actual police officers or court officials. The caller will also tell you that you can pay a fine to avoid arrest, and they may ask you to confirm your identity by soliciting personal information, including your birth date, social security number, and other identity theft-worthy details. Well, police say if that happens to you, hang up without providing any information about yourself, and never purchase a Green Dot, Money Pack, iTunes gift card, or anything like it. Police say authentic jury duty notifications as well as no-show summonses are nearly always delivered by mail, and in rare instances that you may be contacted by phone, you will not be asked for any personal information. All right, let's take a turn now. Throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate, as we are seeing some cloudy skies right now, but they should start to clear up as we move on through the day. Cooler out today. Temperatures sitting down in the low 60s, a high of only 63. Very breezy as well, wind gusts reaching upwards of 25 miles per hour through this afternoon. Clear skies overnight and cold out. We will see a low of 36 tonight, heading into Tuesday, which should have plenty of sunshine and again a cooler fall day our way. Temperatures in the high 50s tomorrow with light breeze around 10 miles per hour. See clear skies overnight and a low of 42 degrees. A lot of the same coming up on Wednesday as well. Sunny and warmer out with temperatures reaching back up around 70 degrees. Wind gusts calming down no more than 8 miles per hour. Clear skies again overnight. Temperatures in the low to mid 50s before we hit the back half of the week. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Lang will take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and there's a lot more local news, including details on Governor Malloy's new budget proposal, coming up after this.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to coastalorthoct.com. Like them on Facebook.
At Pamby Motors, we're not worried about being the biggest dealership. We're focused on being the best. We're dedicated to giving you the best experience we can. The Pamby Motors team is here to help you choose the right Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram in a friendly, pressure-free environment. And right now, during the summer clearance event, you'll find some of our best prices too. Like this lease on a 2017 Ram Quad Cab Express for $149 a month. Visit Pamby Motors, Route 7 in Richfield, PambyZone.com.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN network.
The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
Welcome back to this October 16th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski. Going to throw it over now to Donald Eng to take a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, Kate, it was 30 years ago, and for just a moment, practically everyone in the country was a concerned parent. First, though, we go to 1859. John Brown leads a raid on Harper's Ferry, Virginia, now part of West Virginia. His plan was to capture the armory there with its estimated 100,000 rifles, then lead an armed slave revolt. The 22 raiders were surrounded by a force of 88 Marines commanded by Robert E. Lee. 10 of the raiders were killed. 7 others, including John himself, were wounded and eventually captured. Of the 5 that escaped from Harper's Ferry, all 5 would serve in the Union Army during the Civil War. 1869, 10 years later, the Cardiff Giant, discovered in Cardiff, New York, just south of Syracuse. The hoax was perpetrated by George Hull. Now, George was an atheist who had overheard members of a Methodist revival debating the existence of giants as described in the book of Genesis. The giant drew thousands of people to Cardiff and led P.T. Barnum to create a replica, which he then claimed was the true giant and put on display in his museum in New York. When the Cardiff's owners were informed of Barnum's copy, one of them was said to have exclaimed that there was a sucker born every minute, a quote that eventually was attributed to Barnum himself. 1968, Olympic medalists Tommy Smith and John Carlos kicked off the U.S. Olympic team for participating in the 1868 Olympics Black Power salute there. The two said it was intended to show solidarity with those still fighting for human rights. They would receive the Arthur Ashe Courage Award from ESPN in 2008. They and Muhammad Ali, generally remembered as being among the first athletes to use their platforms to make political statements. Finally, now we go to 1987, Midland, Texas, for this.
Here she comes. There's clapping.
Live and direct from Midland, Texas, Jessica McClure is up. She's alive. What a fighter.
That was 18-month-old Jessica McClure, also known as Baby Jessica and America's Baby, being rescued. She had fallen 22 feet down an 8-inch diameter abandoned well shaft. Ironically, during the 58-hour rescue attempt, it was Jessica who reassured rescuers by singing to them. A microphone lowered down the well to monitor her allowed rescuers to hear her crying, humming, and singing the Winnie the Pooh song. Now 31 and a mother of 2, McClure lives less than 2 miles from the rescue site. That is your look back in history for today, October 16th, and I'm Donald Eng.
Thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, the Connecticut Mirror reports that in a bid to end Connecticut's budget stalemate and persuade legislators to abandon legally uncertain cuts to pension contributions, Governor Daniel P. Malloy unveiled his 4th budget proposal for the new biennium today, asking lawmakers to accept deeper cuts to health care and other social services to mitigate tax hikes. Now, the governor's new plan would reduce spending by an additional $150 million over this fiscal year and next combined, compared to a September budget Malloy and Democratic legislative leaders recommended. Now, it maintains emergency relief for distressed municipalities, but includes a revised formula for redistributing education aid. And while it does shift funding from wealthy communities to poorer ones, it does not shift as radically as the governor originally recommended. Now, the Connecticut Mirror reports that Malloy is also asking Democratic legislators to scrap several tax and fee increases, including a statewide property tax on second homes, a 49-cent surcharge on monthly cell phone bills, a new fee on fantasy sports betting contests, and a 25-cent fee on rideshare services, and cancel only $30 million in tax breaks to be determined next fiscal year. Now, Malloy's Twitter @GovMalloyOffice has shared a link to that full budget proposal. And in other news, Joe Scarborough, New Canaan resident, former Florida Republican congressman and co-host of Morning Joe on MSNBC, changed his party affiliation from Republican to unaffiliated at New Canaan Town Hall last Thursday, October 12th. Now, Scarborough posed with New Canaan Registrar of Voters John Amarillos in Town Hall, holding up his voter registration card shortly after completing it. Now, First Selectman Rob Malazzi, who had Scarborough's support during the campaign for New Canaan Republican Party endorsement this past summer, and has has been known to be a friend of Scarborough, was at Town Hall when Morning Joe changed his voter registration. Well, Malazzi told the New Canaan Advertiser, "I have no comment specific to this action, but will note that this great country is all about freedom of choice." And Adam Goldstein assists people in crisis in his role as Assistant Chief Administration for Easton's Volunteer Emergency Medical Service, but now he desperately needs someone to donate a kidney to help him in his time of need. Goldstein has been an emergency medical technician with Easton EMS for 17 years, and for the past 9 years has been on dialysis because he has end-stage renal disease. That according to the Easton EMS Facebook page. Now he's on the transplant list at Yale New Haven Hospital, but due to having blood type O and having high antibodies, receiving a donation has proven difficult. Now he needs the help of the community or anyone willing to get tested and donate. Interested parties are asked to contact the Yale Transplant Center at 866-925-3897 and tell them that you would like to get tested for Adam Goldstein. You can also get more information on how to help by emailing adamneedsaKidney@gmail.com. And while Stratford's Sterling House Community Center is not quite new, it felt like it was last Friday. Stratford residents, government officials, and volunteers gathered on October 13th at the newly renovated Sterling House. The opening of that community center was the culmination of more than 10 years of work. The grand reopening coincided with Sterling House's 85th anniversary celebration weekend, which ran from Friday to Sunday. Executive Director Amanda Meeson spoke to Melvin Mason about those changes. You can get more on that story at stratfordstar.com. But all right, we're going to throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update.
Thank you, Kate, as we have our Week 4 winners for Athlete of the Week this Monday morning. And congratulations to Bridget Fatsy of the St. Joe's girls volleyball team and AJ Lacona of the West Hill football team. Fatsy, the senior, had a busy week as the cadets went 3-0 in 3 matches. Bridget picked up 18 kills and 6 aces in a 3-2 victory over Danbury High. She also had 16 kills and 2 aces in a 3-0 win over Stanford, and 15 more kills, 5 more digs in a win over West Hill. AJ Lacona, the Vikings junior quarterback, had 4 touchdown passes as West Hill improved to 4-1 on the year with a 45-27 win over Capital Prep last Saturday. Lacona's touchdown passes came from 30 yards, 25, 6, and 2. Congratulations to both Bridget and AJ. And for our Week 5 nominees, tune into a special Nutmeg Sports at 3:30 this afternoon, live from Kennedy Stadium, as we get ready for boys soccer between Bridgeport Central and Trinity Catholic. On Saturday, though, the HAN Network was live at Cardinal Stadium in Greenwich for the 3rd installment of the Marinelli Bowl. And for the first time, it was younger Johnny Marinelli who took home the win as his Cardinals rolled 36-21 past New Canaan. Gavin Muir led the way, throwing for 3 touchdowns and running for 1 more to seal what was easily the biggest win of this new Cardinals era. Let's take a look at the highlights from that game Saturday.
1st and 10, ball at the 21. Muir in the gun, fakes the give, and he wants to throw a jump ball up here. He wants Harris. Correction, that's Negron who makes the catch, and it's a touchdown for the Birds. So 2nd and goal, the ball at the 3-yard line. Muir with Camizio. They give inside. Tyson fighting forward. He's over the goal line, in for the touchdown, and the Cards lead 13-0. So now they've got Ben Schneider, who missed a good chunk of last season and early parts this year with an injury, filling in that role.
You got to hope he can step up.
Shin towards the goal line. He's over the top, but, well, the touchdown signaled. Excuse me, John. A Cardinal player came up with the ball, but it won't matter. The Rams are on the board with 4:41.
He was a little off balance, and bumping into Moore just jarred him off of his center a little bit more than he had to be. And now we've got a whistle at the snap. Pine is running. He's looking for a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
I heard a whistle. There was a whistle somewhere.
3rd and 14 as Muir takes a deep drop. He's going to try to go up top. He wants Negron. He makes the catch. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. Grant was hobbling a little bit as Pine gives. J.R. Moore fighting over the left side, over the goal line. and it is a Ram touchdown.
Lou Marinelli's going to finish this game on the Greenwich sideline.
The clock will strike 0. And the Greenwich Cardinals have taken down New Canaan, 36-21. The final here, John. What a moment for this program in year 3 under John Marinelli. The signature win he has been looking for.
So congratulations to the Cardinals, who now remain the only unbeaten team in the FCX West Division. On the other side in the East Division, the Darien Blue Wave improved their win streak to 30 games. They took down Staples 32-6 on Friday night. We'll have highlights of that game on Nutmeg Sports as well later. Elsewhere around the conference, Norwalk took down Trumbull 18-17. Trinity Catholic beat Ludlow 40-19. Stanford outlasted Brian McMahon 30-21. A huge comeback by St. Joe's. They take down Ridgefield 38-35 after trailing 35-10 at one point in that game. Wilton beat Central 40-14, and Fairfield Ward a 27-0 shutout over Danbury. Kevin and I will get you caught up on everything this afternoon from around this past football weekend. For now, though, we send it back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following on your coffee break after this.
New Canaan Foreign Car. Yes, New Canaan Foreign Car has been servicing all makes of foreign cars for over 50 years. We also buy, sell, and consign cars too. We can help you with all your automotive needs from service to sales. Call us at 203-966-2681.
At Portofino Restaurant and Wine Bar in Bethel, fresh and simple food is our concept. Owned and operated by brothers Rocco and Louie, Portofino has a distinct and diverse food and drink menu. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Come join us for live local music on Tuesdays and Sundays, Wednesday nights for mouthwatering prime rib, and every Thursday night is ladies' night. Planning a party? All our catering menus are personalized to suit your event and your budget. Join us at the Dolan Plaza, 213 Greenwood Ave, Bethel, and call us at 203-797-8131. Like us on Facebook.
Welcome back to this Monday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. Trumbull's volunteer firefighters battled a pool house fire on Sunday. Firefighters said they were called to that blaze after a full day at the annual Fire Department Open House event. Well, Long Hill, along with Trumbull Center and Nichols Fire Departments, were called out for that structure fire that ended up being a fully involved pool house. No one, thankfully, was injured in that fire. And a traffic stop Saturday morning led to a large manhunt in Westport and the arrest of a Bridgeport man. At around 11 a.m. Saturday, a Westport officer attempted to stop a vehicle in the area of 35 Bridge Street. Well, during the course of the stop, the operator, 27-year-old DeHonta Robert Hilliard, was asked to exit the vehicle. At that time, he allegedly ran from officers. Well, an officer gave chase and observed the suspect drop a firearm as he fled. That officer stopped to secure the firearm due to its proximity to an apartment complex. Well, officers immediately established a perimeter in the area and alerted residents via the Code Red system. The alert advised residents that police were searching for a possibly armed suspect and that they should remain in their homes. Well, additional units and canine teams from surrounding towns were brought in to assist with that search, and at noon, just about an hour later, officers found Robert Hilliard in the shed of a backyard on Kaiser Road. During his capture, he sustained some wounds from a canine. He faces several charges, including carrying a pistol without a permit. Now, the origin of that firearm he dropped remains under investigation. And a Stratford bar owner and one of his bartenders are facing charges for selling drugs from the Stony Brook Bar and Restaurant following their arrest last Thursday. 68-year-old Angelo Racine of Bridgeport is charged with 3 counts of sale of cocaine and operating a drug factory. 51-year-old Lori Herb of Stratford is charged with 4 counts of sales of cocaine. Now, police said the Stratford Police Narcotics, Vice, and Intelligence Unit officers received numerous complaints from neighbors about drug activity at that bar, which is located on Success Avenue. Police launched an investigation and determined that Racine and Herb were trafficking cocaine from the bar. Police said detectives conducted numerous buys. Now, search warrants were executed on Thursday at the bar and at Herb's and Racine's residences. Detectives found cocaine packaged for sale, about $3,500, as well as items used for packaging, and about 4 ounces of cocaine at both the Racine residence and inside the bar. Now, both of them are scheduled to appear in court on October 20th. In other news, State Senator Gail Schlossberg's introductory remarks to a group of University of Connecticut students had her facing some public scrutiny. HAN's Milford Mirror reports that Schlossberg issued a statement last week noting that she apologized to UConn students for a statement that she made back on October 3rd while visiting the school to discuss the state budget. Now, while introducing herself and talking about her start in politics, Schlossberg told the students that she once worked with a Milford-based PTA to remove books from a school library because the books contained racial slurs. Now, Schlossberg said the offensive word aloud. Well, the Yukon College Democrats issued a statement October 7th noting their objection to Schlossberg's use of that derogatory word. Yukon students wrote in a statement while describing this work, State Senator Schlossberg explicitly used the N-word without euphemisms within the context of his presence in the books. We have received a formal apology from Senator Schlossberg about the use of that word, they said. Now, Schlossberg said in her own statement last week, in part, I was talking about children's books that were outdated and inappropriate for elementary school children. She said in describing that the books were so inappropriate for young children, I referenced the actual word aloud as it appeared in the text of that book. She said my intention was to convey that this word has no place in our society, especially in teaching our children. Now, there's a lot more on that story at milfordmirror.com. And in other news, a motor vehicle collision in Wallingford Sunday evening took the life of 90-year-old Edward Carabillo of Raymond Street in Darien, that according to Wallingford police. Now, Carabillo was the operator of a 2016 Audi convertible which collided with a 2012 Nissan Titan pickup truck on the intersection of South Colony Road and Northfield Road. This happened at about 6:40 in the evening. Now, the front seat passenger in that Audi, 82-year-old Natalie Ainson, was transported to Yale New Haven Hospital, where she's being evaluated for non-life-threatening injuries. The operator of the Nissan, 69-year-old Ronald Bonito of Wallingford, suffered only minor injuries and was not transported from the scene. There's a lot more on that story at DarienTimes.com. All right, going to throw it back over to Frank Granito. Get one final look at your forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And again, we're seeing some morning cloud cover that's starting to clear up as it will continue on through the afternoon. Partly cloudy skies later on today, a high of around 61 degrees, and it's going to be very breezy out with wind gusts between 15 to 20 miles per hour. Cooler out again tomorrow and plenty of sunshine, a high of 59. Wind not as strong, gusts reaching only 10 miles per hour. Clear skies overnight and a low of 42. And then Wednesday starting to get a little bit warmer again. Temperatures might reach back up into the low 70s. Plenty of sunshine again through the day Wednesday. Clear skies overnight and a little mild out with a low of 50 degrees. That's going to do it for this weather update. Don't forget a special Nutmeg Sports at 3:30 this afternoon from Bridgeport Central's Kennedy Stadium. We've got your Athlete of the Week nominees for Week 5. Highlights from this past weekend of FCAC football, and of course, we're getting you ready for Trinity Catholic and Bridgeport Central boys soccer at 4 p.m. Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow at 11 with the latest local news and more. Enjoy the day.